Hello to the people that chose pile 2. There is different groups in this reading, so all the messages are not going to be for one specific group. The first group is seen by the overall energy of moving forward, getting ready for positive change. Angel of Miracles, open your heart and expect a miracle. Originality, blaze your own trail. And Dragonfly, live life to the fullest. And with this group, I'm specifically picking up that it really is time for you guys to live your life in your own energy. Also, the colors of these cards may be calling out to someone. It's mostly blue and green, and there's a little bit of brown and gold in there, and I feel like these colors may also be a symbol of the change that you've gone through, because blue is symbolizing the emotional state and green is symbolizing balance between all states. And this is really saying that you guys may have gone through a period where there was a rebirth of the self. It was like finding who you are, and now that you found it, you have found that originality is really your best friend here, because being in your own energy is best suited for living your life to the fullest. With that first group, it really is a self-discovery journey going on there. And then with the second group, we have Dove, take a leap of faith. With a new beginnings, begin your new life. And 7 heavenly virtues, keys to goodness. So with this group, I specifically am getting messages about fear. And I'm also getting messages about a lot of light, a lot of childlike energy. And I feel like this is why some of you may be fearful, because you see that the world is like in a different energy than you, and you know that your vision doesn't really align with the overall collective's energy, so you're kind of scared to take a leap of faith. I also want to point out the colors shown in these cards, very different from the last pile. So I feel like these people are really in touch with their inner child. And in the third pile, we have gratitude, be grateful for all you have, and money, find a way to abundance. And I just want to really point out the way these cards are picked. So gratitude is looking at the girl that is with money, and they're both looking at each other because gratitude goes with abundance. You can't have one without the other. And you can also see the transformation, how in her hair she has flowers, and in her hair she has an empire. And it's really showing that when you embody that vibration within, you begin to see it in the external world. And with that being said, I pulled, it's time to release negativity, and it's a time for healing. And I also feel like the color purple really resonates with these people, because purple is the color of the shadow self, and I do feel like the shadow self with the third group is really preventing them from actually enjoying life, and they are really comfortable in being pessimistic. So we have a lot of different energies going on here. This card resonates with everyone here, whether it's the self-discovery journey in pile 1, whether it's the putting yourself out there, pile 2. I feel like pile 3 is a older group. It's more about building a stable foundation for yourself. And usually that's something that you do in later years in life. We have soulmating. And I'm also going to start linking my decks in the description box. So if you're interested in any of these beautiful cards, they will be linked below. Okay, so we have Vesica PCs, creating soul truth in the world. The outside world feels more real than the inner world because we have been encouraged to focus on what is outside of us. We have learned to give things that can be seen by others or touched by us more importance than what we feel. Making decisions can become difficult when our awareness is focused away from our inner needs and wants. When our internal and external realities are integrated, decisions are clear and easily made. This leads to satisfaction as there is no resistance to your fulfillment. When we scan the myriad possibilities open to us in the manifested world, we will know what we want and we will not feel overwhelmed. In this space, we become grateful for the decisions we have made and the ones we will make in the future. So the symbol shows that consciousness splits to know itself and expand life. From this place, it can reflect upon itself, seeing itself rather than just out from itself. And this is really talking about the flower of life, the seed of life as well. I was getting another visual of that. I forget what card it was in. Let me find it real quick. Yes, this one. So there's a flower in the middle with that soulmating card. So it's really about rebirth because the whole seed of life is that it starts from a seed and then it keeps growing and it's just never ending growing. So this journey that you start with yourself is one that will last the rest of your life. And I feel like specifically with the pile 3 group, they have been out of alignment with themselves. However, they already started that journey a couple years ago. They just have to get back to that. And this Vasika card is really explaining that getting in touch with the inner world is how we get back to that alignment. Congratulations for everyone who picked pile 2 because soul healing is the most beautiful type of healing. It is timeless. I also feel like that's why we have a lot of ages watching this because it really is timeless. Your soul exists through eternal lifetimes, and getting in touch with it is how you stay youthful, really calling in your soul to yourself. And I see that when you do this through soul writing, it's talking about starting to write things down that resonate with you, writing things that you want out of your life, because you really have to see it on a written piece of paper to reflect on it and decide if it's your human self or if it's your soul self. Because if you agree with it completely, you're going to be in alignment with it, and therefore you can actually manifest it. And when you manifest it, you will actually attract your soul family, because when you get in touch with your soul, you will attract people who are on that same frequency, and therefore you will also feel more connected with life, because the main thing that can make us feel disconnected is when we don't have that connection with ourselves, and we also don't have that connection with people that understand us. And we can only attract the people that understand us when we form that connection with the self. And this awakening and joy is giving you confirmation and closure that even though you may have some self-doubt about opening yourself to this new spiritual way of life, it's not everyone, but there is a specific group in here that may be feeling that way. It's telling you that it won't be like that because they just said it will be joyful. So it's not going to be like a spiritual journey where you're lost and you're down in the dumps and all of that. This one's actually going to be fulfilling because I feel like everybody in this spread is really in touch with themselves. And with this You Are the Universe card, it's really talking about all of that soul work is going to create what you want. You just have to write it down, because we exist in a universe, but we also are our own universe. So if you want to see things come to you, then you have to be the creator of those things. And There Is Only Light is also supporting that message with joy, saying that this journey is going to be a positive one. And with that being said, we have Remain Positive. So in the moments, if you are feeling confused at times, this is telling you to remain positive, because there is going to be joy at the end of this. There is going to be light. You're going to attract soulful connections when you have that connection within. Compromise. I do feel like this is resonating with that older group, because you guys may have been really comfortable in this way of being where you forgot what it's like to be receptive. I feel like there's a lot of not exactly masculine energy here, but it's just like authoritative, narrow-minded energy that you don't really want to open yourselves up, but you need to understand that in order to get what you want, you have to do it, and that's the compromise. So yes, it's going to feel new because this is a new beginning for everyone, but specifically becoming a lighter energy when you've been more, I don't want to say dark, it's not that, but it's more just mundane, and turning it into a universal energy. It can feel uncomfortable, it can feel like it's not you, it can feel like you're acting silly, or you're just, that's the energy I'm getting. That's how this pile can think, and they're telling you that this compromise is actually how you get your goals, and it's perfect timing to start working on this. And you can start working with writing, you can start reflecting within, but I'm really getting the feeling that it needs to be from you. I see people like reading books, I see people scrolling on their phones, on their explore page, and they're liking quotes or even posting quotes that are from other people that they resonate with. But that's actually not doing the inner work. It's a distraction from yourself. And filling your mind with positive things, on social media, those quotes and everything, it can trick you into thinking like it's good for you, but it's actually not, because it's distracting you from creating your own quotes and creating your own things that resonate with you, not just someone else doing it and then you find it and you're like, oh, I agree with that. It's a completely different thing. This is specifically coming through that someone may need to be more nicer, more polite with their words, especially that third pile I was talking about with that more strict, narrow minded energy going on. It can be reflected through your external presentation, and changing the way you speak to others can actually help you heal and become more of that lighter energy, because what you feel inside is going to be seen by other people. Look at the bigger picture. And this is for everyone. This is really talking about this new beginning that when you start out, yes, it's going to feel new and unfamiliar, but they're telling you to look at the bigger picture because that's going to motivate you to keep going. And when we look at the bigger picture and connect with that energy of who we are going to be at the end of this, and then we bring that energy back to our center in the present moment, it can actually help us get there quicker. With the pile 3 group that's looking for money and that gratitude card, this is really sticking out to me that the inner turmoil needs to be addressed internally so it doesn't start showing through externally. I'm getting the feeling it is already. So people may be coming to you like, what's wrong? Are you in a bad mood? And then that may even set you off even more, and you turn into this lion here. Your inner turmoil is being shown outwardly, even if something outwardly didn't cause it. And then ironically it does cause it, because then when someone brings it up, obviously that's going to make it mad. So it's really good to just meditate and write to really get out this negativity so it doesn't start showing in yourself. I also feel like there's a Gemini watching this reading that's really looking for some clarity. Geminis can have a hard time identifying with themselves because they do have that twin thing going on there. We have balanced spirituality and practicality. And this is really key to actually manifest your goals. You don't want to get sucked away in something and then forget how to come back to earth, but you also don't want to be too rigid in the practicality. So having a routine or something that you can put in your daily practice that grounds you, reminds you that you are on a spiritual path as well as a physical one, will help you learn how to ground these things so that you can get in touch with what you truly want better. Because the way to actually know yourself and what you want is to have that spiritual connection. We have luck is on your side. This is confirmation with that joy and there's only light card. This is a beautiful awakening, not a hard one. Who you are right now is only a limited version of who you will be. And therefore, being connected and aware of that means that you are good enough now because you know you can be better. It's time to take action. And this is for everyone about that new beginning. We have the new moon in Aries. Aries is really charging energy, like go after your goals. Something's coming through. I just heard April. So April is Aries season. There's going to be a lot of like career energy there. So if you are working on a career or something you want to put out in the world and then coming out with it around April is a really, really good idea if you want to reap some rewards. And then we have surrender to receiving support and love. And this is going with that don't let the pride get in your way card, because when you are working on yourself, you can feel like no one understands you. And you're probably right, because everyone's journey is unique. But it's also toxic to not let people in at all if they are genuinely trying to help you. Try and reflect before just snapping and, just shutting it down. Because things people say, even though you might not resonate with them right away, it may spark a thought in yourself later on that can change your perspective. And this means that whatever people tell you, you don't have to exactly agree with, but listening with an open heart can help your healing. Surrender frustration, really just surrendering to the divine and to the wonder and awe of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. We have surrender negative thinking. Surrender the idea you can fix someone. And I think this is going with that first pile about the originality, living your life to the fullest. I was picking up like isolation energy, and I feel like it's because you guys gave a lot to other people, and then like something happened where it didn't work out and it forced you to turn inwards, which is actually the catalyst for your spiritual journey. And this is telling you, like, again, with this blue and green energy going on here, that you only can fix yourself and you're only meant to fix yourself right now. Because if you were meant to help other people, we would be seeing cards talking about like give out your love and stuff like that. But this is telling you this is your time to be alone. It's really important to make decisions based on the wisdom of your body, not your mind, because your mind is still being programmed right now to reach your highest potential, but your body is stationary. However your body feels about it is how you should act upon it. And then we have surrender fear. So I pulled some shadow self cards, and these may resonate with specific people. This shadow self is the darker part of ourself that if it's not healed, it can actually prohibit our wanted reality from happening. And it's because the shadow self is formed from previous experiences, previous trauma, and if it's not healed, you basically keep attracting the same thing over and over, whether it's in yourself, your thoughts that don't resonate with you anymore, or people that don't resonate with you. These events and things will keep reoccurring until you actually do the work. So some cards I pulled were narrow-minded. You have a limited outlook on perspective and thoughts. What makes you think your thoughts are solid gold? These really just caught people out, but I feel like this is talking about that one group that is more based on material aspects, and it's talking about that compromise, that balancing spirituality and practicality. Yes, it may seem foo-foo. I feel like some group in here is kind of like judgmental of spirituality because they haven't really been in touch with it, and you have to make that compromise to get what you want, and that means getting rid of any narrow-mindedness left in you. We have prejudice. What if you were categorized into a group and given attributes that were false without truly knowing who you are? I feel like this is a prejudice in the self. Because if you're judgmental to other people or other things, everything is a reflection of what's going on within. So that means that someone has to be judgmental to themselves if they are of others. And I really feel like someone needs to just stop being so hard on themselves. And it's that group that has the strict mindset, the abundance group. It's really about inviting more light into your life, because being out of alignment with it for so long, you're starting to feel like life is like old. And I feel like that's why spirit told me to mention that it was like an older type of group. because I don't like using that word, but it's like this old, outdated energy. And I feel like that word was resonating because it feels like life is just the same old thing. And it's like, oh, it doesn't feel like it can get better. And I feel like it's because of the internal reality going on there that there's a lot of judgment. There's a lot of prejudice, like the need to really prove yourself to have worth and all of that. So therefore you see it in other people. And that really needs to be let go. Emotionally overreacting, you are overthinking, which is causing a flood of unnecessary emotions. And this is about everyone with that surrender fear card because it goes with overthinking. It's really important to just surrender to the wisdom of your body because everybody's thoughts right now in this reading are changing. They're all susceptible to change. So you don't want to identify with your mind, but you want to identify with your body so you can find your mind and find your way. And then we have this Oracle deck card that says, may this Oracle deck awaken you to greater authenticity by working through any hidden shadows of your personality. And this is talking about someone needing to actually buy an Oracle deck. I'm going to link the decks I have in the description. Like I said, these are all Oracle decks. There's no tarot in this reading. So if any of these cards really called out to you, I feel like someone needs to purchase an Oracle deck and start doing that as a way of integration with spirituality. I feel like this is the one that someone needs to get. This is based on Amazon. I believe it's like $20. So yeah, it gives you basically like a description of all the cards. But that is the end of your reading. If you enjoyed it, I would love to hear about that in the comments. I appreciate the likes and shares. It really helps the algorithm. And I will see you in the next video.